Hello everybody and welcome back to another brand new video here on my channel. So in today's video guys, I'm going to be giving you the in-game settings for Project Cars 2, which were revealed last week by the developer Slightly Mad Studios. So Project Cars 2 recreates the high adrenaline rush of pure motorsports like nothing that has come ever before. Exploring the main race settings options in-game offers a clearer picture of the type of experience that will come with Project Cars 2 when it releases on September 22nd, 2017. Now here's a little preview of what you can expect. Date and time matter. So the race setting difference, it offers you two options for the duration of your race: laps based, which is a maximum of 999 laps, or time based, anything between 5 minutes to 24 hours. Setting the race length is ideally complemented by the date option. Here you can choose traditional race date for that location, such as Le Mans in early summer for instance, or the Indy 500 in May, or you can choose any date that springs to mind. Selecting any random date that strikes your fancy matters because of LiveTrack 3.0. Choosing, say, a December date for Fuji will invariably mean that your race will occur in cold conditions, opening up the possibility of snowfall. Project Cars 2 with its GPS located tracks will replicate your chosen track's real world weather, so in other words, if the forecast is for snow in December at the scanned ring and you choose that date and track, snow is what you'll be racing in. Wind, meanwhile, can play havoc with your open wheel aero-dependent Indy cars, getting a tailwind on a crisp morning in October into turn 1 that has yet to be warmed by the sun is the kind of racing that will make Project Cars 2 both challenging and viscerally unforgettable. This is what anytime, anywhere means in Project Cars 2. The weather and time of day scenarios given the real-time weather options are practically limitless. Moreover, you can experience, for instance, a full night to dawn progression, where you decide to speed up time with a time progression option which will, in effect, decide how quickly the Earth revolves around the Sun. Sounds fanciful, but given the game uses GPS positioning, the angle of the Sun now has a direct bearing on your racing experience. For instance, in a scenario when it has rained through the night but the dawn comes clear and the morning sunny, those turns lying in the shade will take far longer to dry than turns that are directly warmed by the sun. Deciding then what lines to take and which tyres you want to be on becomes as crucial as in Project Cars 2 as it does in real-world motorsport. Weather in Project Cars 2 is one of the core experiences of the game because it is reflected in the surfaces of the tracks which, in turn, directly affect the grip afforded to your car. LiveTrack 3.0 is the culmination of a decade's worth of refinement by Slightly Mad Studios, and with Project Cars 2, the weather combined with the surface you're racing on that will alter grips levels corner by corner guarantees one of the most exhilarating experiences you've ever enjoyed. The angle of the sun at a particular time of year, the shade of trees and their foliage, the type of road surface, race surface, all of this will have a direct consequence on the feel and grip of your racing machine. You can also choose the season for your race: winter, spring, summer or autumn. You can also make use of the 4 weather slots that come with your race settings with a simple tile design, creating 4 distinct weather events as simple as the click of a controller. If these 4 or less slots are filled with standard weather acceleration, your chosen weather events will each last 1 hour before the next event is transitioned via a fluid, realistic transformation. You can also speed up the weather events via the weather progression option that will modify how quickly the weather will transition anything from real time to sync to race, which will change the weather in accordance to the speed of the race that you have chosen. The weather also plays a role in determining whether you would like to run a formation lap, and in Project Cars 2, the revamped tyre model has resulted in tyres that have been optimised for real-world performance, and that means that they take a while before heating up. Using the formation laps to heat them as well as the brakes, carbon-based brakes in particular, need time to get up to operating temperatures, bringing a whole new realism to the motorsport experience. Now, pit stops are live and fully animated, so Project Cars 2 will allow drivers to manually control their vehicle and manoeuvre it into the pit box. If you come in too hot and miss your box, you'll need to reposition your car. Drivers, meanwhile, who prefer to sit back and let the game's AI take control in the pit lane, will be given the option to do so in the race settings. Pit stops in Project Cars 2 are now fully animated. Motion capture technology was used to replicate the human actions that take place during a pit stop, and 3D character models will now run around your car and complete tyre changes and fuel refills just like real-life pit crews. The biggest challenge in creating this fully dynamic and beautiful realised animation was in capturing all of the required body movements that take place in the many varied motorsport series featured in Project Cars 2, and their associated pit stop rules. For example, some series allow tyre changes and fuel refills to happen simultaneously, whilst others must see tyre changes completed before fuel can be put into the car. You'll experience pit stops precisely as they occur in the real-world motorsport discipline you have chosen to run. Opponent settings and multi-class action. The AI in Project Cars 2 has been the subject of an overhaul from the very first installment. Depending on the level that you choose to run them, you're going to find opponents who will challenge you like never before. You can set the number of AI in your race up to the amount as grid spots at the chosen track. Their abilities range from 0, which is easy to defeat, to 120 AI that have been optimised to crush your ego. The novelty to Project Cars 2 though is the opponent field setting, where you get to decide what cars the AI will drive. As there are nearly 3 choices here, the AI can drive the same car as you, which is useful for series such as IndyCars, or the same class, usually in this series such as GT3, where you can race against GT3s from a dozen or so automakers, or finally you could decide to run a multi-class race, perfect for those 24-hour races at Spa or Le Mans, where each class is scored and timed individually by class and not just overall. So you may be 9th of Le Mans, but you may also be winning in class, and the game will now score both scenarios simultaneously. Multi-class racing recreates all the excitement of proper endurance racing, as if you choose to run an LMP1 at Le Mans, for instance, you'll need to deal with much slower GT-LM cars, and if you choose a GT-LM, you'll be spending much time checking your mirrors as LMP1s come steaming through the night and pass you as if you were standing still. This opens up a whole new challenge for drivers in Project Cars 2, mimicking the terrifying speed differences between varying classes of cars on track simultaneously, all battling for position. It's going to keep you seriously busy, whether you're the car that needs to give way to a suddenly appearing Audi LMP1 monster, or you're the LMP1 coming up to a team of battling Porsches and Nissans. If you don't want to modify the settings for the race weekend 1x1 and want nothing but a recreation of a representational motorsport type, you can take a shortcut by going straight for the motorsport filters option. The purpose of these filters is to offer a number of presets that you can use in order to quickly set up a race weekend that resembles one of multiple motorsport types in Project Cars 2. You may still modify the changes made by the motorsport filters option, but this is a useful shortcut and also demonstrates the type of motorsport that will come with the game. Rallycross, IndyCar, GT, Endurance, Prototypes, Open Wheeler, Touring Car, Track Day and Road Cars are the events that you have there. Everyone will have a favourite car, track, weather and even a seasonal combination that feature settings that make it an ideal event. Maybe you like night racing at Long Beach, or you'd prefer to use the experiences of sunrise after a dark and foggy night in an LMP1. Within a single press of a button, you can now use the Favourites screen to set up all options to the values that recreate one setting that you have come to adore. The list of favourites consists of 4 slots in which you can assign previously used race weekend configurations, so if for example you have just driven a race that felt flawless, you can go into the favourite screen and save this event setup. This will make it possible to recreate that setup whenever you want to race it again. Anywhere, anytime is at the core of Project Cars 2 experience, and the race settings is just one piece of the jigsaw of features in-game that guarantees you an authentic motorsport experience like no other. So that's all the information I have for you in today's video, guys. I did hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you're most looking forward to in Project Cars 2, and will you be picking the game up and what console. But anyway guys, that's it for me in today's video. I did hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you over in my next video, guys. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.